But let's switch accounts here. I hope all is well. We are live. It's Saturday. See if we get some notifications going on here. And there it is. What's up, man? There, let's do the hearts. Ooh, hearts, right? Does that even come through? There they are. Oh yeah, let's turn that down. What's up? I'm out here doing stupid things and before I go live, I bought something stupid. I bought some coffee. That's not stupid. But Marty, what's up, man? Thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm out here just kind of cruising around. I feel guilty because my wife's at home doing work and I was out here on a mission. So here's what I'm going to talk about. Okay, the internet's ruined everything. Everything. Internet has ruined everything. So one of the things that's ruined is thrift stores. So it used to be back in the day. So kids, if you're young, let me tell you a story from an old dude like me, old ZZ Top mofo looking dude, right? Okay. It used to be that, let's say that you just got out of college or you just moved out of your parents' house and you just started your 9 to 5 Monday through Friday factory job, but you're out on your own, and you needed something cheap like dishes, clothing, furniture. You would go to a thrift store. That was the whole purpose of the word thrift. Now, if you went to an antique store, that was a different story. That was you were looking for antique stuff. And you always hear the story of somebody that came across, so and so's paintings, drawings that he had, and nobody realized what they had, and they make millions of dollars because they're antique collectors that collect this crap, right? So thrift stores were kind of like an indoor centralized place if you liked cruising yard sales, right? Getting ready to leave Albert Lee. Cool. Be careful. Is that Brian? Is that you? Is that you there? Anyways, so you would get a killer. So you might get a whole set of dishes and glasses for like, $5-6. And you might get a pot and pan for, a couple of bucks versus, going to the store and buying one for, 10 or 20 bucks, And, and if you needed some quick dress pants, you can go and buy some, but now we live in a world where thrift stores are more expensive than brand new retail stores. Now I get upping the price for things that are antiques or what people might consider antiques. But not like basic things that I can find at Walmart. And it perplexes me. Now, here's the other thing that perplexes me. I'm here at the Red Racks DAV thrift store. And it's packed. Like, I think Walmart is just as busy. And you've got all these like little old ladies, looking for things. And you've got, and here's where the internet comes in, right? Donald Peck says, boy, are you a sight for sore eyes. I had open heart surgery on January 21st. January 22nd went horribly wrong. God was with me. Was in the hospital till 2 days ago. I had to learn to walk again even. Donald, I will say a prayer for you, my friend. I'm glad to see you too. So I'm glad you made it through. And Pam, I see you jumping in here. Hello. And of course, we already said hi to Marty, who's putting weird symbols up too. So I was, so here's why, gee, Steve, why you at a thrift store? Well, because yesterday I'm sitting there, I'm working, because I work from home, and I'm on the phone and I hear this crash. And I look in the kitchen, and on the floor of the kitchen is a broken dish. 2 broken dishes, actually. And a cat, who obviously was the culprit, scattering for its life because, well, that was a scary thing to a cat. And it's a special, and one of the dishes was a special red plate, like an antique kind of looking thing, and it was red. It's got bumps in it. It's a pretty cool plate. It was red glass. It was cool. And I was like, I could have sworn I've seen those at the DAV thrift store. So I thought, let's go in there. And I was just like, what is wrong with people? Because number one, the dish wasn't there. So there's that. And so here's what happens. So these TikTokers, these YouTubers, these Instagrammers, these Facebook reelers, what they do is they get on the internet and they go, oh, look at this thing I bought at this thrift store. It is a huge find. Now I can turn around and sell this on eBay for hundreds of dollars. Now, there was a time where, like, my wife had a cousin, or has a cousin, it's not like he's dead, but has a cousin that got into the eBay game early, and he would buy stuff from yard sales, and he would buy stuff from thrift stores, and then be able to turn around and profit on eBay with them. Of course, that caught on, and everybody and their mother's doing it. I tried my game on that for a minute, and it paid for some gas money one summer when I was school bus driving. That's about all I got out of it. It was a lot of work. It was kind of fun. Why? Because thrift stores weren't ridiculously stupid back in those days. This is like about 20 years ago, right before I started driving a truck. And so there is a thrift, it's an antique store, whatever I call it. It's called Relics on the other side of town, and it's got some cool stuff in there that you normally wouldn't see. It's like going into a museum. That kind of thrift store shopping is kind of cool, but this is just everybody's yard sale stuff that they got rid of when they couldn't sell it. And then, like, you're turning around and you're buying a set of plates that you can buy at Walmart for $5. They're trying to turn around and sell it for $7 to $10. Now, here's the kicker, and here's where DAV is a genius. Because they pay $0 for their inventory. They don't buy that off the person and upcharge it. They are literally getting this stuff for free. And because they have access to the internet now the thrift stores know when they got something cool. And they can upcharge it. So they're hoping that whatever junk that you're bringing them, and they got a bunch of people that they hire. They hire some disabled veterans. That's the whole purpose of it, right? And they hire people with questionable backgrounds and questionable situations, which is good because we need more of that in this world. And their job is to sort through all the crap that people bring them, sort through all the broken furniture, sort through all the stained cushions, determine whether it's good or not. And I imagine that DAV probably spends a ton of money on dumpster fees. But here's the thing. So like Goodwill, DAV, you're giving them your product, and supposedly they're supposed to be doing good things with that money. And so common sense in the business world, because that's what I deal with, says, hey, if we upcharge too much, we can't sell anything. But that doesn't seem to be holding people back. Like, what's wrong with all of you? The place is full. It's packed. Full. And I'm like, if I wanted to buy something today, I would be waiting in line for like 20 minutes. I can understand finding some relic of something you had as a kid, or and then not everything's priced up. Like if you want a DVD or a book or a VHS tape, you guys remember those? Then yes, you're gonna pay like 50 cents for something that might cost $4 or $5 at Walmart, if you could even find it. But that's it. And maybe some toys. Look, if you have kids, you understand that. And this is what we learned early in our having kids, my wife and I. We learned that we did not want to spoil them at Christmas time, because everything ends up as yard sale fodder, right? Video on Betamax. Oh man, I think we were one of those families that had both. Back when I was a kid, my dad was really good at spending credit card money and buying like a bunch of stuff. Like we had a VCR before they were really a thing, back when they were like $300 a piece, and all that. We were kind of, yeah, that's a whole different story for a whole different day. So Laserdisc, yeah. Well, look, there are people that collect Laserdisc because like, oh, I love the movie Halloween, so I'm going to collect every single format that I can possibly get, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. People are worshiping the wrong things. My wife and I were talking about this. There's a person that we know. His knowledge of movies and actors and comic book series and anything related to entertainment, he is a walking encyclopedia of all of it. But you take a brain like that and you're like, man, what could you really be doing with that brain? Because look, we have some kind of situation where there's like, let's say an EMP takes the whole grid out. What do you got left? You ain't getting no entertainment. You ain't getting no TV show. You ain't getting no any kind of media whatsoever, other than what you've got in your CD player. But you can't play CDs if you don't have power. It's like that would be a complete empty existence. It's kind of like if whatever you like, I have friends that have whole bedrooms full of Star Wars stuff. Like, what if a fire takes that all out? Is it really worth it to replace all that stuff? Is insurance going to pay for that? We put our hearts and minds and money in the wrong things. Now, I say that because I accidentally got a new blade, so there's that. But so I get it. I'm a collector of things too. But at the same time, I'm not so emotionally attached that if I lose them, like, well, that kind of sucks. Well, it's not like it's going to be a family heirloom, right? 8-track, dude, 8-tracks haven't quite come back, but cassette tapes have. Like, there are bands putting out cassette tapes now. But like, I dated this gal who her father used to go. So there used to be a thing in Springfield called I-44 Swap Meet. It was literally along the interstate. You had to get on the side frontage road to get to it. Right there, right here in Springfield. And it's now a Prime terminal. Like Prime bought that property and kicked them all out. And that place was cool because you could find stuff at reasonable prices. I used to sell stuff there, and I would literally turn my money in. Like, like I would walk around. Like one time I found a kid's bicycle for $5. I turned around, put it in my booth, and put $10 on it and sold it. It was glorious. It was a lot of work, but I enjoyed doing that. It was outdoors, so as long as it was the middle of summer, because obviously I was trying to make money while the school bus, as a school bus driver, you can't work year round. There's like 2 months that you're not working. So I had to supplement my money one way, but I couldn't find like a permanent job or whatever. Anyways, that was fun. We used to go to that every Saturday or Sunday because we didn't go to church back then. And we would that was cool because you would see some old antique stuff from farms. You would see some cool, unique stuff that you wouldn't find anywhere else. And nobody was upcharging, again, 20 years ago, nobody was upcharging things because they think they can get a pretty penny for it on the internet, but they just didn't want to, deal with the shipping aspect. Like one time I bought an Epiphone Les Paul for $140, I think. And it was a matte flat black. It was a decent guitar. I mean, looking back, it might have been one of the fake Gibsons or whatever, but I ended up selling it because I needed money, But anyways, and that's one of the few guitars I've sold that I don't regret selling, but because I'm not a big Gibson fan, I guess. I don't know. Even though the new Paul Reed Smith I bought is very Gibson-ish, I like it better. So, but yeah, I don't understand but that was a fun thing. That was like, you could find 20 dishes for $5. It was like being at a massive yard sale. But yard sales take time, takes a lot of gas, a lot of in and out, a lot of stopping. So this was a great thing. But yeah, so the internet's ruined thrift stores because now, and you see it, like you see it on the social media. Someone will go, "Oh, look what I found at the thrift store," and it's like some ancient looking toy thing. And then they'll show a screenshot of eBay of someone selling it for $120. And so half of these yahoos in here dealing with this crowd are probably looking for that. So everybody's in the aisles just getting in the way. And I'm sitting there like, I'm looking at the dishes and I'm like, they want $20 for this set of 4 plates that I can get at Walmart for $5. Huh. Now, if you're like, I hate Walmart, go ahead, spend that money. But man, at least support like a local store. I mean, I guess, I don't know, I've never done the research whether DAV actually does real good for their veterans, I don't know. So why is Shannon doing the same symbols? That's weird. What's with the new the moderators have a new thing. That's weird. Like every moderator has that symbol. So Marty's not a moderator. He's got that symbol too. What's wrong? That's weird. So, but anywho, so I'm out doing that. So I went into the thrift store. I saw the crowd and was like, well, at least I was hoping to find something that would replace my daughter's glass plate that got broken. But I was hoping that there wasn't, because I didn't want to stand in line for 30 minutes because you got a crap ton of people in line buying stuff that's overpriced. Now, here's what DAV does. And mind you, this happens in all retail outlets, okay? You sit there and they're like, okay, let's price this. Let's find something. Okay, this flashlight, let's price this at $10. Now, mind you, I can buy this for $5 at Menards. This is where I got this, and I think that's what I paid for it. Does it still work? Yeah, it does. Let's check it out. So, look, it does that. It's kind of cool. Ooh, look at that. All right. Anyways, but man, on Saturdays, this is half price at the thrift store. Especially if they put a little sticker that ruins the whole thing on it. And you're like sitting there like, cool. I'm getting half off on this item that I could probably get cheaper brand new at a retail store. And that's how they get you, right? Like, that's how the big fuel companies are with the Loves and the TA and stuff. They're like, oh, look, we're giving you a 40-cent discount. But then you look across the street at the local Quick Trip and their fuel is 40 cents cheaper than the Loves. So it ends up being about the same. But you're getting 40 cents and you get a free shower, which a lot of you need. And you're getting points. So once a month you can get a free coffee. That's awesome, right? So you remain happy, you know. DAV is a good org for vets. Every business is local people work. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. But man, they've got this influx of stuff coming in. Like, there was a line of like 6 pickup trucks as I came in here that was all donating stuff. And there's like 2 or 3 of these in town. Now, I will admit that, like, one of our pastimes is my son and I will go to the thrift stores, kind of look around and stuff. There's one for a children's organization that's by our house. We'll go to that one. That one's easier to get through, and they're not ridiculously pricing things. So it makes me wonder what their overhead's like, of why they got the prices. So, you know. But anywho, but what else do I need to talk about? I think that's it. Sorry I didn't go live on the big channel talking about freight because I was busy this week. So I found a Yeti cup, 32 ounces for $5 at a Goodwill. Goodwill is kind of on the fence, right? Goodwill, which is interesting because I don't think Goodwill stands for anything. Just, you know, hey, you're nice to give us stuff that we can make a complete profit on. But there are some good deals. The only problem with Goodwill here in Springfield is that it's way on the other side of town. So, what's up, Dave? How's it going? And so, there's that. But man, these prices, but I'm just amazed at the amount of people that are paying these prices. So I think, it's for a good cause. Okay, well then just donate the money to the cause. There's less overhead that way. That's kind of where it is. What's good. So yeah, busy is good. Revenue's been up for everybody. So that's the good news. So let's get into the trucking thing for a minute. Revenue's up. It is super easy to get above $1,000 a day in van right now, but not so easy that you need to go out and buy 18 trucks and 20 trailers and create an equipment shortage. We're just warming up a little bit. It's kind of like spring after a long winter. It's the first day above 40 degrees. That's kind of where the market's at right now. The brokers are doing a lot of shady stuff, canceling loads while you're sitting there at the counter, trying to check into the shipper. You have shippers that are staying longer to load the trucks because the brokers were waiting until the last minute, and then it took them 2 days to get the truck out there because they're trying to keep the price down, yada, 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 right? A lot of shenanigans going on, and the removal of these non-domicile CDLs can't happen quick enough, and the brokers need to adjust because I called on a load. It was Alan Lunn. I'm gonna out the broker. Nice lady. Hey, I'm interested in your load going from point A to point B. Yes, it's a load of this. Loaded miles is 1,049. Picks up today at noon and delivers tomorrow at 11:30. I said, AM? She's like, yes. Okay. That can't be done legally, ma'am. Oh. Yeah, that's 1,000 miles in one shot. That's not legal. You can't do that. You need a team. Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay, well, yeah. Was it reposted as a team load? No. They're looking for the carrier that's willing to have a team, or to one that's going to unplug the ELD because they're desperate, because their truck payments are behind, because they, business has sucked for them for the last, 3 years. So there's a lot. I did get some new shoes. So thanks, Shannon. He is using it for wake up call for the surgeons, even the family, etc. What's going on here? Just reading the comments. Nothing I've missed, I don't think. But Donald, I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you're hanging through. So, but anyways, yeah, so let me show you what I got, guys, what I'm seeing here. So let's take a picture. This weird symbol. I don't know, like, come on, take a picture. There it goes. All right. Like, what's that symbol right there? Not the metal horns. No, that one right there. What does that mean? Like, does that tell you like who's actually subscribed to you? Is that what that's about? Enjoying the temperature roller coaster? Yes, it's like, so let's get down to 20 tonight, and what else? 15, I think, tomorrow, but then we're gonna be in the 30s or 40s. I think today is high is only gonna be 40 today, and that's hard on guitars because our bedroom gets real cold, then real warm, then real cold, real more warm. It's affecting my acoustic guitar. So you guys don't see it on your end, because I'm like, because I watch myself, because I'm a narcissist. I watch myself with my other phone. So I carry 2 phones because I'm a narcissist, right? So you guys don't see that. That's why I took a picture and showed you. Like, only I can see it as the moderator of said, well, of course I'm the moderator. I'm the one who's gone live. So, yeah, so you're not going to see it on your end. Your badges look different instead of a wrench now, the moderators have like a badge looking thing. I guess they don't want people to think that you can actually fix something. So there's that. So, but anyways, I think I'm going to go home. I've got a busy day. We've got worship service at practice at 3:00. And I got to run through the songs one more time. And tell you what, if you don't follow me on Facebook, here's the deal. I just got a Paul Reed Smith guitar, and that thing is glorious. Now, before you get your stuff in a wad here, it's not one of these $15,000 guitars. It wasn't even a $5,000 guitar. It was a guitar priced, it's the SE series, priced at a 3-digit number. Okay, so don't sit there thinking I'm made of money, because I'm not. But this thing plays beautifully. It's probably the 3rd highest quality guitar I own. So there's that. They ran out of Timmy. Why? That's weird. That's why did YouTube want to hide that comment? I can't even fix myself, much less something on YouTube. Guess that's why they changed from wrenches. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I thought I was live. I wasn't live. I was watching a live feed the other day and I saw wrenches. So maybe it's just a mobile thing. But anyways, we're in day 4 of Lent. And so what I've been doing because I'm gonna confess something. So I did the 40-day of carnivore challenge, and that was great. And then after that, I lost another, I think, 10 pounds, which was good. I started reintroducing vegetables and stuff like that, but then at some point I started to get relaxed about it. And Shannon knows what I'm talking about. This is a pattern that happens, especially with me, because I'm kind of a food addict, right? And so if I go to church and I have a pizza, it's like, one's not going to hurt me. Next thing you know, I'm out of ketosis. I've eaten too much crap. And it's kind of like drinking if you're an alcoholic, right? If you can't just have one drink. Well, I'll start fresh tomorrow. Tomorrow's a brand new day, and you get this in your head, and next thing you know, I'm eating a bunch of crap, even though I know how bad it is for me, even though I know what it does to my body. That is true addiction. Like when you know something's destroying you and you're eating it or drinking it, that is true addiction. Kind of like watching the cigarette smoker with the oxygen tank next to him, and and they got emphysema or whatever, but they can't put the cigarette down. Food is very addictive. They make it addictive on purpose. So for my Lent, I was like, all right, single ingredient foods, salt and pepper only. And so that predominantly looks like a carnivore diet. No chemicals, no, like I found this heavy whipping cream that doesn't have it. It's literally just cream. No carrageenan gum, no gooer gum, none of that stuff, because that stuff tears up your gut. And zero sugar. Like the only carbs are coming from like maybe zucchini, or I haven't really reintroduced fruit during this Lent thing, but I'm on day 4, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, day 4. And Matt's is going to be a challenge because I will eat very simply while everybody else is probably getting too extravagant. That's exactly what we go through, buddy. Nothing witty. Hello. Glad to see you. My YouTube feed has been quite quiet lately with trucking. I guess everyone's busy stacking vengeance. I hope so. So let's see. Why so many Americans like underage girls and boys? Whatever, dude. But anyways, so that's where we're at, right? So I'm on day 4, and it goes for, supposed to do it 40 days with a break. Now, I was talking to my wife about this. I can't take a break. I can't okay, it's Sunday, I can eat whatever I want. I can't do that because my mindset's like, I can't flip that switch back and forth. I just can't do it. Moderation is a lie. I've learned that in my world. Now, you could do moderation, whatever, but in moderation, my world does not exist. Now, as far as the yo-yo thing, Donald, I lost 120 pounds, gained back 30. Like the last time I was at Matt's, I was at 300 pounds. That was right. That was the year that Shannon signed up for like trucking. That was the year I met Dee Dee for the first time, and I made her pee all over the seat of a rental car. That was funny. And the dog, not Shannon. And I was 300 pounds. There was one night where we went to the Brazilian steakhouse, and I don't think I've ever been so miserable by eating so much food. It was crazy. And so I had to buckle down, got down to 280, and then did the 40-day carnivore challenge again, because I've done it before. It's on the bigger channel. And I did that one as a truck driver. And I also lost my 120 pounds as a truck driver. Now, all these people are like, when I get off the road, I'll start losing weight. No, you'll actually probably gain. I gained a little bit. Why? Because I was doing the cheats. I was trying the moderation. Okay, this little bread ain't gonna hurt me. Next thing you know, I've eaten a whole loaf, right? Um, so right away, I'm already seeing results. So there's that. So this Lent has been like, I'm going down to that. You're supposed to add something. So I've been journaling. I'm not going to get too emotional with it. Is dinner at Matt's only for like trucking folks? Well, in the past, it was whoever was tagging along with us, because the people we were representing were, they were spending money freely. So they were very generous. It was fun. Like, we were getting hotel and food comps. So it was great. But this time we're going under like trucking's deal. And so that's all up to Jeff. So, man, I wish I had Mr. Rubin's money. That'd be cool. Slayer, right? Anyways, those you don't know, he's talking. The troll is talking about Rick Rubin. He's got a beard. He's also lost a lot of weight, and he's produced a lot of albums. But the one there's only two artists that he's produced that I like, and that's Johnny Cash and Slayer. Everything else is crap. I did 240 to 193. Then in between, then 240 to 213. Then this year, 231 to 198 through the surgery. Diet is everything. And our health system just absolutely just sucks. Like, my mother-in-law had to go to the ER the other day, in there for like 16 hours. You don't want to go to the hospital. You don't want to get sick. Now, if you're having a heart attack, obviously you're going to get triaged a little bit quicker than someone who's not. But you go to an ER and you see how sick the country is. You really do. Go to a amusement park or a convenience store or Walmart. Go to Walmart at 10 o'clock at night and tell me that we're not unhealthy, right? So, anyways, have a good day. I'm going to go home. The fats are not the enemy, no blockages, just bad valve and aneurysm. Well, I'm glad you're here with us. I'm glad you're here because the earth is a better place with you. So I'm glad you're here. So we need more good people in this world. Phase out the bad ones, right? But you're all forgiven. So with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow, and I'm out. Thanks for watching.